Okay. Ja, mal gucken. Ich weiß gar nicht, ob wir mit der einen Frau fertig gesprochen haben. Mal gucken. So.
You're back.
So,
Good.
gab's noch
What can I help you with?
Stimmt. Über das ganze Zeug, über den Mord selbst haben wir noch nicht wirklich gesprochen. What can you tell me about this lynching? Quite a few things, I'm afraid. She falls silent for a moment, contemplating something. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers. Badge numbers? Uh-oh. Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. The lieutenant hands her a piece of blue plastic. Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. He points to you. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice. Oh, curious. She returns the lieutenant's badge and turns to you. Why is that, detective? Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events. Remember when I told you I literally cannot remember even the most basic facts about reality? How can I forget? She tilts her head to the side. One of those facts is where my badge is. Another is my name. I was hoping your condition was rhetorical, detective. A questioning technique. I wish it were. I have sympathy for your highly unusual condition, sir, and I believe you. But as it stands, I cannot share any confidential information until I've seen both your badges. I understand the dictates of protocol, ma'am, but is there no way around it? I'm afraid not, Lieutenant. These are my employer's orders. Hang on, she's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement. How do I negotiate my way out of this? She's a negotiator. Just float a favor at her. Insinuate. Surely there's some other way to demonstrate our law enforcement credentials. I will be frank with you. She puts down her thermal cup. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They are going to want to see something very tangible. You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain. Like what? Reports from inside Terminal B suggests it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason. They're profiting from this trade. The company has tried looking into the matter before to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones. Or, she picks the cup back up, you can recover your badge. Though, if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause. Detective, Lieutenant closes his notebook. A word in private before we continue. Excuse us for a moment, madam.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective.
Lieutenant's voice is hushed. How did you hope it would go? Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance and, you know, not volunteer us to be her henchmen. Really, I thought it was going so well. This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands. He doesn't let it show, but there's a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation. I'm sorry for putting us in this situation. I'll handle it. It would not hurt if you tried more in the future, yes. But you propose that we don't investigate the drug trafficking? No, if there's a reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we're siding with the Union, or that we're on their take. We'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. He adjusts his glasses. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done and demand for her information on the lynching. We could just, you know, find my badge. Oh, he nods slowly. That would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large, and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters. You could request a new one from your station, but that would literally take months. Let's get back to her then.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Okay, tell me about this alleged drug trafficking. It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samarin Isla into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years. Ingredients for what, ma'am? Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff. Let me get this straight. The materials come from Samara to Revachol through the terminal? Yes, after they clear the terminal we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jabrock Quarter, north of here. Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the products? Sells drugs, I mean? In logistics, it's our business to know, and no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut. And you want us to investigate? Yes, but you won't get anything out of Everard and the Dock Workers Union. Still, she raises her bony finger. Every chain has its weak link. Am I going to need bolt cutters for this? Unlikely, officer. I'm talking about the lorries. Once the ingredients reach Jamrock, they are distributed to a network of local manufacturers, well beyond our grasp, but in transit they may be vulnerable. Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment. She gives you a knowing look. Her irises are light green, like the river Esperance in bright daylight, upstream where it's clearer. Be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you. Why didn't you come to the RCM earlier? We did, on more than one occasion. Apparently there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under. We know the company has launched its own probe into the union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM. No one's been able to find any hard evidence. Well, she smiles and points toward the roundabout. Here's your chance, officers. It's no coincidence the lorries are stranded there like that, is it? No. We asked East Motor Tract to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However, she pauses, looking to the sea. This is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the trade committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue. She looks north. Thousands of liters of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east, across the river, but the west. The vulnerable. The weary. Well, at least dissolves one mystery. What is that, Lieutenant? Why I had to call East Motor Tract and beg them to open the drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I first drove in on my motor carriage. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kitsuragi here, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity, I'm sure you understand. What proof do you have that the Union is involved? How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight. There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it. With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves. So you think the strike is being funded with source ingredients for drugs? Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely. Then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who'll open up to you. Sounds like she tried looking into it herself, but she's clearly not the type your typical lorryman would confide in. We already have some suspicions that one of the drivers was present at the lynching. The two might even be connected. Or not. Though if you have evidence to the contrary, I'm eager to hear it. As eager as I am to share it, Lieutenant, once the job is done. Okay, I've made up my mind about the smuggling investigation. We will take this case, probe the drivers, see what it yields. Excellent. She takes a long sip of tea. According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. Hopefully, one of them will know something. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need. Okay. Moment, wo war die Karte? Karte da. Roundabout. Ist das? Mehr Info kriege ich nicht. Ein Church? What? Und wir sind da hier. Ich habe keine Ahnung, wo diese, wo der Dings ist. Der, Dings, roundabout, Kreisel, Straßenkreis, Dingens ist. Geht zu Ragi. They're working class drunk. You know what this means, right? Case solved. Who's Dick Mullen now? I cracked it. All in a good day's work. Why, what did I crack exactly? What do you mean, what did I crack? Look at how working class that drunk is. It's her husband. The missing husband. Yes, and you found him. Now go and tell the working class woman. Protect and serve. Recruit. Give me champagne, I'm going in. There's no need for champagne when there's honor. Recruit. Go and tell the working class woman what you found right now. Ich hab deinen Mann gefunden. Dein Kind finde ich auch noch. Protect and serve, madam. I found your husband. She crosses her arms. God damn it, I already told you my husband isn't missing. But you said you didn't know where he was. And I specifically added that I didn't need to know where he was. Well, I found him nevertheless. I'm Dick Mullen. Very well then, where is he? She's getting impatient, her hands now picking on a random book cover. There. Excuse me? She blinks. I don't follow. There's something else hiding in her voice, though. A trace of worry. I found a working class drunk, and I thought he might be yours. Right, 'cause working class women come with alcoholic husbands. She glances over your shoulder towards the drunk. You know what? I'm not saying what. You are right. I do have an alcoholic husband, although not that one. Ha! Blam! Knew it. So is he missing as well? No, he's not. Or maybe he is. I don't know. He's probably in the park or in Jamrock or somewhere, drinking with his friends. She looks away. I haven't seen him for... well, to hell with him. She has completely forgotten about her books, staring blank into the distance instead. There, she's worried now. Don't worry, I'm going to find him and bring him back home. Promise. She sighs, but you can detect a slight hint of gratitude and relief from her face. Alright, go ahead. Do you have any questions? What does your husband look like? She eyes you from head to toe. Honestly, not that different from you. So let me guess, he's disco. Oh, thank God, no. She claims, begins to laugh. Yeah, she nearly begins to laugh. It hasn't come down to this yet. Why did you say that your husband resembles me then? Well, he's slightly chubby. I see. What else? What else? He was wearing a dark brown leather jacket with a bright blue inner lining. Lining his hand soon. I made it myself. She sighs, her voice slightly quivering when she adds, "It's his cool jacket. God knows it's too cold to run around in this, but he refuses to change. Who cares about the cold when you have your cool jacket to wear? Can completely sympathize. I even tried throwing it away once, but he just dug it out of the bin. Can you believe it?" She looks back at you, shaking her head. What if the jacket is really that cool? Then I can totally understand. Well, what can you do? I hope that at least that extra lining helps him keep warm at night. I wouldn't like him to catch cold. You're thinking about him out in the cold, in some park or on the coast, and it's making him more and more worried. When did you last see him? Yesterday morning. He went to the library. Her eyes become cold with recollection. He went to retrieve my book and he promised he'll walk straight back home. Because we talked about this. We talked about not wandering off again. She scoffs. I don't know what to do. I honestly don't know what to do with his addiction. It just makes me feel weak. She turns away from you in an attempt to recover. I think I got it, thanks. So you are going to look for him? She genuinely wants you to now. Don't make her ask. Yes, I will bring him back home to you. Thank you. You sense gratitude in her voice. Please do, even though I'm sure he will return home by himself. I'm sure of that. I'm sure he will too. When he does, would you let Precinct 57 Kim Kitsuragi know? He gives her a slip of paper. The woman takes it. It's a phone number. I will, of course, officer. As I said, it's probably nothing. Okay. Also ist er doch verschwunden. Drawbridge. Ist der was? You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When he realizes you're looking at him, his face breaks into a wide welcoming grin. The name Sealing is embroidered over his breast pocket.
Happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool here.
Gives you a thumbs up. What's so cool?
Everything's cool. The goods are cool, the customers are cool, the place is cool. And one more thing, officer.
From out of the bay, a cold wind gathers. It sweeps into the city, tugging at their textiles hanging around the stand. Some distance away, the sound of a tin can clattering around across the street can be heard.
You're very cool.
Aha. Makes both hands into finger pistols and fires a few finger bullets into the air. Verstehst das Spiel nicht? Was? Ja, wir sind Polizist und müssen eigentlich einen Mordfall lösen. Aber, ja. Die Leute haben Probleme, die gelöst werden müssen. You feel a twitch in your index fingers. There's a finger shootout brewing. Whip 'em out.
Don't shoot, officer. Have we got an arrest here, or just a shakedown?
A shakedown.
Good one, officer. You're a funny guy. Now, what can I do for you?
He nods towards his shabby wares. Just kidding. I'm really here to shake you down for some answers to official police questions.
Then fire away, officer.
Thought gained. Finger pistols. 9mm. What? Oof. What kind of stuff are you selling here? Only the coolest goods in leather shawl. I've got sneakers, speakers, extremely comfy pants too. Try them on right here. No shame. Only freedom. Where'd you get those comfy pants? I'm an entrepreneur, officer. He begins counting on his fingers. I've got sources, buyers, suppliers, distributors, manufacturers, wholesalers, all extremely cool and above board. Is there a discount for cool officers like me? No need for discounts at ceilings, officer. Everything's already on sale. He nods towards the crates. Anything you want, 50% off. Do I have a permit to sell all that? Good joke, officer. Here we don't have permits, just economic freedom. Take a look around. He takes a deep breath. He glances around the decrepit buildings, the miserable weather, the sidewalks strewn with sunflower seeds and the dust-choked air. It's beautiful, beautiful freedom. Kim, is it true he doesn't need a permit to sell? It is, yes. Anyone can set up their shop whenever they feel like it. That's right, no permits, no bureaucracy. That's why the city and its law officials are so cool. Why, but what are we doing here if there are no permits? If you wanted to be cynical about it, you could say we're here to protect the interests of property holders. I'm not, however. My man, officer, you make all this possible. Without you, this climate would be extremely bad for business. You're part of the Gossamer state. Gossamer state. You're right, this is cool. I'm part of a hip, thin, almost non-existent state apparatus. Yeah, that's the main thing about you, he nods admiringly. Freedom is great, it's what lets independent entrepreneurs like me sell quality goods at competitive prices. That's all then, let me ask you something else. The food packages you're selling have humanitarian aid written on them. How come? You mean these delicious pre-packaged shelf-stable meal kits? Really easy to cook, no hassle, really cheap too. Buy some, try them out. I think one said not for resale on the packaging. No problem here, officer. I get all this from one of my suppliers, an extremely reputable guy. Wait, Humanox. Humanitarian aid. Does your supplier drive that Humanox lorry over there? What? Street vendor looks over his left shoulder and stares at the lorry, as though he's never seen a lorry in his entire life. Look, officer, I'm just the retailer. You'd have to talk to my supplier if you got questions about the supply chain. That's how the game works. Interesting. Lieutenant whips out his blue notebook and makes a note. We'll need more if we're going to pin this one down, he thinks. Good questions, though. Sharp eyes, officer. Where are you from, Ziling? Me, it's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now, all rather sure. But you're not a local, are you? Very sharp, officer. I'm Serayes from the Zigay province of the Serayes Empire. The apricot serenity. Serenity, you know. Apricots are delicious. The apricot blah blah blah, the lieutenant explains, is what the Zigay archipelago is commonly known in Revachol. He pauses. It's a bit of a fraught term. I'm sure you understand. No, apricots come from Zigay, the vendor explains. My grandma used to grow them, but Zigay is a shithole. That's why I came to Revachol. Here's much better for an independent entrepreneur. Less laws. Speaking of, why not support an independent local entrepreneur? I sent half my profits back to my grandma in Zigay. Well, if it's for his grandma, he should buy a lot of things. Money. Oh! Kritischer success. Nice. Start with a little compliment, then work your way up from there. This is about business, remember? You seem like a really successful entrepreneur. Would you like to support a member of the local police force? Oh, okay. The man stops, his face suddenly serious. But why, officer? Think of it as an investment. An investment? He raises a brow, intrigued. What kind of investment? Not gonna confiscate this humanitarian aid that you're reselling? Aha, you drive a hard bargain. Officer, I respect that. He nods. Okay, what's it going to cost me? Be reasonable. Oh, 1 million. Oh. 10 real. Sounds like a fair deal all around. He takes a 10 note from a leather pouch. Lieutenant nods calmly and says, corruption. It's just like Buzz or Siegel, a kid watching out of a window describing things going by. He doesn't like it too much, but what do you do? I'll look around, thanks. Okay. Clothes inside, cheap second-hand clothes, smelling of strangers' body odors.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro design. Save the economy with your style, officer.
You find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird polyester blends that make your body itch and sweat in all the wrong places. The box smells like cat piss, or like an old person with no money. Economical, but also trendy, the street vendor shouts. Look first hand, buy second hand. Keep the economy moving. What? No good, all you can come up with are some treated wool pants. You can tell they're too tight around your thighs and too loose around the waist. Touch them. They itch like hell, like an itch pit in hell. +2 Half-Light, -1 Composure, -1 Save. Half-Light is let the body take control. You see two lowly defeated speakers. Thralls, slaves, basically. Perch atop them like conquerors surveying the land. A pair of fallen, durable wear sneakers. Ultra series.
I can see you have a taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eyes off those sneakers?
Pair of fallen ultras. The design is impossibly sleek and simple. A futuristic silhouette with a sleek monochrome colorway. A jet black upper and a silver-lined midsole. Breakthrough imminent. Ah, nice. 50 Real. Was? Oh, das sind aber nicht schlecht. Speakers. These once respectable speakers have been conquered, reduced to a mere prop by the indomitable fallen ultras atop them. Small heat emboss on the veneer reads Solidarity Aid from the People's Republic of Samara. Speakers themselves don't seem to display any magical qualities. No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The man points to the footwear. The sneakers are the stars here. Poor little speakers. No, don't pity them, officer. These are old Samaran garbage. Don't even look at them. Check out the super cool fallen ultras instead. Can I just buy the sad conquered Samaran speakers? No way, officer. These aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Lo-fi socialist junk. That's why I want them. I think I might be lo-fi socialist junk myself. No, officer, you're a high-class policeman who accepts nothing less than the best. Lucky for you, I've got the best on sale. You don't know what I am. I don't even know it myself. I want the speakers. And if you want them... But see, they are the pedestal for my sneakers. If I let go of the speakers, where will the sneakers go? I can't leave premium lifestyle sneakers on the ground. If, on the other hand, you wanted to buy the sneakers too, I could maybe throw in the speakers for a little extra 50 cents. Ah, okay. Yeah. Here it is. Hard facts from the man you are. You once jerked off in the locker room of a... You once jerked off in the locker room and were caught. You held a young woman by the arm and kept her in your apartment for 20 minutes against her will. That's right. These are not flights of fancy. These are real deeds, Harry, emerging from the darkness of your past. You tried shooting a fleeing suspect in the foot, but hit him in the pelvis, crippling him for life. And, above all, you let life defeat you. All the gifts your parents gave you, all the love and patience of your friends, you drowned in a neurotoxin. You let misery win, and it will keep on winning till you die, or overcome it. In Psy, red check failures heal. Moral, physical und motor, red check failures heal health. Oh, cool. das ist schon sehr... Ach, um Dinge auszutauschen bzw. vergessen, kostet es auch wieder. Okay.
I am a gander and a hunter and a gatherer. Feel like a traveler from another planet. Hey there.
I am the law.
Yes, you are, my man. Yes. People get that you are the law. You really don't have to keep saying it.
What's going on here?
It's the jam, my man.
Jam. He motions toward the sprawl of lorries with a sweeping gesture. The air from the east is thick with the smell of crude oils, heavy metals, and other byproducts of the modern era. You can almost taste it. What's jam?
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating, an all-around clusterfuck. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Upon days.
Limbo, huh? So that's where I am.
Yeah, exactly.
So how long have you been here?
Feels near forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout.
Verschluckt. Oder Corona. Wer weiß. So. Geht so. Ja, geht schon. Ey. So. Extravagantly phrased. But I can roll with it.
Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already.
Nee, geht schon. Behind laugh, however, a touch of sorrow.
So tell me, what do you need?
Schickt mir Pepper. Oh, okay. Das ist nett. Dankeschön. Care to spare some change for working stiff. Sudden financial duty snap him out of his daze. Oh, no. I ain't got any money. They don't want to pay for unfinished work. They who? The bosses, man. I don't know who these bosses think they are, but that sounds like a good arrangement for them. Yeah, it sure ain't good for me, or you. I'd spare a coin or two for a city cop down on his luck if I had, say, 4 myself. Tell me more about the strike. It's like whatever's going on over at the docks, whoever's got a blockade set up, making demands, no way in or out. Going on strike would probably help you dodge a bullet or two. Maybe I should go on strike. Maybe you should. Cops don't get paid much and the hours are long. Plus you can get shot. Why not? The RCM is a self-managing organization that operates on donations. We promote our own leaders. It would be like striking against your own mother. I don't know my mother, but I'd go on strike against her too for my rights. Okay. Lieutenant's face betrays a little reaction. But do continue. You were asking about the strike. What's the union demanding? Some pretty wild stuff I hear, like a giant new power crane and half the company. I forget what exactly. Good on them, I guess. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town too, like a strike negotiator type. They'd known what's up, precise demands and so on. What do you think the company wants? They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. He makes a ka-ching sound. Anything else I should know? Anything else? He thinks, yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get paid. I have things to do and places to be. All of us do. All of who? Us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. A few still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high or late. He smiles awkwardly. Not that I blame him, really. Not you? Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting, observing. He glances down the road toward the horizon, a glint of something in his eyes. What's better than chasing transient pleasures? The more transient, the better. When one's in it, you can get on to the next one. He tries his best to look nonchalant, but there's a rigidity in him, as if trying to conceal something warm and deep beneath a cool exterior. Know anything about the dead man? The one hanging behind the hostel there? He ain't one of us drivers, I know that. All accounted for, otherwise I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right here, keeping busy. Busy with what? Analyzing the fundamental structure and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries and their sad, despondent chauffeurs. Despondent. And your conclusion? A sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees. What are you hauling anyway? Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that. Time to arrest him! You're under arrest. Ah, no, I'm joking, my man. He grins. Fawn runs a nice, clean business. This sort of cargo is mostly spotting goods. You know, tracksuit, and that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Graz and the Occident, though we've been making headway in the Ilmaran market lately. Could I get one of those foreign tracksuits you're hauling? With pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be happy. So nothing illegal then. Not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road. That's your machine behind you? This rockin' beauty? He points at the lorry with his thumb. Sure is, like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery? Yeah, those lorries are pretty neat. Neat for carrying large quantities of cargo a long distance. These fallen truck suits need to find the way to the kids way out in Uamrau and Lirambert somehow. There's it again, a little touch of sadness beneath his cool. He thinks he spent too long in this lorry. Right, I had another question. You seem like a man who knows about drugs. Oh man, me and narcotics go way back. He folds his hands behind his head and leans back. Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know. But he pauses, letting the memory dissipate. Those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man? Just be straight with him. Okay. Let me be straight with you. I'm trying to figure out who's smuggling drugs out of Terminal B. Lieutenant steps in. We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the Arbor to load it on their lorry and drive it to Jamrock. On me, man, no way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got fogs up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration. Who do you think could be conducting the drug trade then? Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions. It's not a lie, it's something else. Impossible to say what at this point, but there's something in him. Some trepidation. He's into it. Don't go too far. This seems a little seems like a personal matter. My man, I wanna know about your soul. You really are the law, aren't you? I get that being bluntly observant and inquisitive comes with the territory, but it certainly doesn't help with your conversational skills, does it? Just like this, that his slips out of your reach. It is possible the yelling didn't help. What? Don't be a stranger. Gives a salute with 2 fingers. Hey.
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Where am I? Who are you?
Like a magician recalling a subject from her hypnosis, yet You've jolted her back to reality. Smile on her face has disappeared, replaced by the worry aspect of a cornered beast. Me, I am the law around here.
Then I don't suppose you could tell me where we are, lawman? Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in the traffic jam. In the 50s.
But what's so bad about the 50s?
The men have small jaws, and everything is made out of plastic. Why do you need plastic when you can make the world out of amber?
Where else would you be then?
Back in Mefke, during the time of the revolution, the sidewalks and coffees are filled with young people. I was on my way to see a new Boy Dado picture starring Gabriel Buenguerro.
Okay.
Until you come along, that is.
Who's Gabriel Buenguerro?
This is Gabriel Buenguerro.
Photograph in a lavish amber frame. Strikingly handsome man looks straight at you, his head crowned with a wide brim hat. His hair is dark as an oil slick, and his jaw is the most perfectly chiseled thing you've ever seen. This man's got a hold over her. Even 50 years later, you can feel it.
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of the cinema whenever he came on the screen, and schoolboys used to memorize all his lines.
So I take it you were in mask when you were young?
Someone was.
Someone? Are these not your memories?
They are someone's memories, boy. What difference does it make if it's me or not? They are beautiful. That is all that matters, beautiful and true. And they will win. They are coming for this, you know. All of this.
All of what? The world? The present? She seems to derive some bitter pleasure from this strange thought. As if the past will one day wipe the present away, like a tidal wave approaching. Sorry to interrupt your dreaming, ma'am.
I wasn't dreaming. I was there, low man. It was early spring, and the man behind the black sun had just come out. The posters were 20 meters tall. Everything was golden. While you people were tearing each other apart over your petty little revolution. In Mezque, it was a golden age.
Right. I have some other questions for you. Police questions.
Why not, Jerife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole.
She settles back against the railing of a motor lorry. Behind her, mountains of memorabilia, photos, and knickknacks line the dashboard. There's something off about this woman. Tell her to show you the soles of her boots. Maybe she was at the hangings, somehow. Okay, show me the soles of your boots. Now what do you want with an old woman's boots, Jerife? It's for important police business, ma'am. She raises her boots slowly, with contempt, and says, I'm starting to think you should let me get back to Gabriel Buenguerro. You know, Gabriel. She's wearing sturdy worker's boots made of black leather. Buckles run across. The sole is also made of leather. Now the other one, please. Just before Gabriel, it was the coronation of Franco Negro. Now there was a real man. There's no aberration in the pattern that you can see. She puts a foot down. Moreover, the boots were a size 37, tiny. There are too many discrepancies in all this. She's not at all. There are no boots that made the prints. These are not the boots. He takes a quick note. I could have told you that just from just looking at them. Her size is 37. The feet of a little girl, she smiles. They fit well on the pedestals. What are you hauling? Diamonds. Diamonds, really? Of course not, she says, grinning. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was? Okay, but what are you really hauling? She shrugs. Whatever stupid thing they put in the lorry, I imagine. So you don't know what you're hauling in your own lorry? I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. She smiles a careless smile. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean. She says that if something narcotic is the real reason. Wait, you get high off driving a lorry? It's so much more than high where I go, Jerife. It's slow. I go to the bottom. She closes her eyes in a reverie. Yeah, it's definitely some kick, some terrible kick in the dark. Sleep kick. Perhaps you can find out later. What if the cargo is contraband? That's contraband, lawman. What? You want to take an old woman in? Be my guest. Lock me away like bad hand Hermenegildo. Hermenegildo. I still don't really understand this whole Boyadero Gabriel Buenguero thing. Of course not. To truly understand the Boyadero, you need to listen to On the Western Plain. Okay, watch that. It's an old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with a daring Boyadero. He promises to marry her as soon as he returns from the Western Plain. I'm guessing that doesn't happen. Of course not. The Boyadero returns from the Western Plain a changed man. One night, as he and his beloved are out walking along the river Marguerite, she pleads with him to give up his riding and settle down. So he gives up his riding and settles down, right? No, the Boyadero strangles his beloved and throws her body in the Marguerite. Then he rides off because the Western Plain is calling to him. A beautiful song. The most beautiful. A true Boyadero needs a whole horizon to himself. Can't be tied down by man or woman. His beloved was selfish. She didn't know what it meant to love a Boyadero. What if to truly love a Boyadero is to float lifeless downstream? Before I came, you seemed away. She's just a distracted old woman. We should maybe let her get back to her things. Yeah, lawman, I don't think your partner likes you spending too much time with me. Wait, where is the lieutenant? Nothing. I just don't think she's connected to anything. He's worried, but not for her, for you. What is it about this woman if she's not connected to anything? Should you drive a lorry if you get like that? Oh, don't worry about me. I'm one of the best camionneurs around. I drive routes no one else will. What roads? Lomonosov's land, Dachnaya Zemlya. The Western Plain. She nods and closes her eyes again, letting her mind submerge. A terrible cold comes over her, rattling her teeth as she stares inward. The Transcatla Magistral U41A as Estradas do Mirador, all the good ones. The deep trenches where the bluebirds fly. She opens her eyes again and shudders. I'm something of an expert in blacking out. You should take better care of yourself. She looks you over and goes, "You're right, lower man. I'm the one who should take my health more seriously. Thank you for looking out for me. A correct appraisal, you're quite shabby." Is that all you woke me up to say? You seem like a woman who knows a thing or two about drugs. What do I need drugs from, lawman? What I see, what I feel, the great adversary. No drugs can compare. The adversary. Yes, there's a protagonista. She gestures to the intersection. And an adversario. I am on the side of the adversary. There's no coming back from that all. Where could I get my hands on an experience like that? If you don't know, pfft. She flicks her wrist in a gesture of casual dismissal. I wanted to ask if you'd be interested in smuggling some drugs. Why would I want to do that? For the glory of the world republic, liberation of the spirit and body. Lawman, what in the name of God are you talking about? Okay, let me put this another way. Are you smuggling drugs through Terminal B? Her shoulder bones crack as she shrugs. Maybe, probably not. Makes no difference to me either way. You said earlier you don't know what cargo you're hauling. Could it be drugs? Just this month I made half a dozen trips from Zaramirisa to Graz on the U41A. What do you think they take from Zaramirisa to Graz, lawman? Drugs? No, lawman, diamonds. She grins. If you had to guess, who do you think is smuggling drugs around here? Easy, it's the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet. She squints across the square. Also, he's the only one I can see from here. Good. That's correct. There's no visibility of any of the others. I didn't ask you about diamonds, did I? I don't care about that. Diamonds are good for you, lawman. You should try them sometime. Make yourself pretty like Eva de Soras. Okay, if you're not involved with the drug trafficking, then why are you still waiting here? Where do you want me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to music or the seagulls. Look at all the colors and the features of this world. It's a good palate cleanser, this jamboree. Or I can just relax and let my mind carry me back where it will, to the Great Plains. I think we're done here. No. Yep. Thank you for now. Yes, go. Enough jamboree. I need to get back to Mask. The voice trails off. Jamais vu. Jamais vu, the opposite of déjà vu. Not already seen, but never seen. Everything that should be familiar appears strange and new. Like some half-forgotten day in your childhood, only now. That's a feeling you've been having, and for who knows how long. You should go and ask Joyce Messier about this. What world are we in? This is the fundamental question. +1 XP für every orb clicked. Horseback Monument kann ich probieren. Ja, okay. Ja, machen wir hier Pause. Ja, interessant. Aber irgendwie, keine Ahnung. Irgendwie kommen wir nirgendwo voran und immer mehr Aufgaben und Probleme tun sich auf. Eieiei. Naja.